What is up, Retro Maniacs? My name is Mike. His name's Joe. His name's EP, and we're here to talk about cards. You know, a couple weeks ago, when we were throwing around ideas to do a show, I was trying to come up with one about things maybe we didn't understand in the hobby, but our old friend CardPurchaser on Twitter did a thread where he asked people, what part of the hobby do you not understand? And instead of just giving you our opinions, I thought it would be fun to go through the replies that he got on Twitter and pick out some of my favorite ones, and we could discuss them. Some good stuff on there. So first one I pulled out was the price disrespect for PSA 9s. That was from Brad. We'll just use their screen name. Just Brad. Yeah. Brad's confused by the disrespect for PSA 9. What do you think of that, Joe?
I'm confused by it too. I love 9s, man. Well, it used to be, as a collector, the collector grade was like 7 or 8. Remember back in those days? It's like, oh man, I can't afford to buy this in a 10. I'm going to buy in a 7 or 8 because I'm a collector. I just want this card in my collection in a decent looking grade. 9's now the new collector grade. And I'll tell you what, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it because keep disrespecting 9s. They're a smidge on the wrong day for that grade, or a smidge less than the look of a 10. So if you put a 9 label on that thing, I'll scarf them up. That's the way to collect at this point.
I agree 100%. This is the collector grade. PSA 9s, like, I mean, that they are like they are. You literally, like, you probably could crack out 100 of them and get like 50% back as 10s, possibly, right? Maybe even better percentage than that. Like that's how the PSA grading system works. And so, Brad, if you're watching, thank you for watching, and also thank you for this great comment. I mean, should we say thank you if we want to continue to get awesome 9s for ourselves?
Right.
I mean, like,
shut up, Brad.
Like, maybe not.
That's the funny thing. This one had more replies to it than any of the others. And pretty much everybody was in agreement with it. But there are a couple of those shut up Brads. I don't want people, I'm trying to buy 9s. Yeah. So, I mean, there are a lot of people that know that, like, the difference between a lot of 9s and 10s are just the greater on any given day. So 9s are a great card to buy if you're collecting cards. I don't know why you're buying 10s unless it's something really special that you really wanted. So, okay, the next one, you know, this came from Big D from 913. Great.
Are you sure this is not the Ruben mean tweet?
No.
Okay.
But he said, why the hell don't all cards just say on the back, whether it's an SP, an SSP, etc.? And yeah, you're right, Big D. Like, come on. People are trying to figure out what this stuff is. Sometimes you have to read a code. You might have to see if there's something missing on the back. It's like, just put it on it. Why don't you? You put all these numbers on all these other cards. You can put SP or SSP or whatever letters you want to on a card.
Right. Signify it in some way, shape, or form. You know what it is? It just gives terrible actors in this hobby a way to scam people. Like, by not designating these on the back in some way, shape, or form. Carte blanche for eBay listings. Am I right? Like, you can put SSP till your heart's content because no one really knows. And there's ways to prove whether, didn't one of you guys get in like a Twitter feud with someone over like what something was an SP or like years ago?
There has been one. I don't know if it was us or we just talked about it. But
but like, just do it. It's not. Are you that concerned about ink prices? Like, come on, just put the SP, SSP. Or something like that. Or, I don't know, be less shady and number them. There you go.
Too,
It's not even an ink problem because, like, Topps puts those those serial numbers on the back, or the code numbers on the back that Mike talked about. Like, that's the worst part. Like, if you're going to spend the time to change that code number, just freaking put the SSP or SSP on or SP on there. One of my things that aggravates me the most is I love 2012 Gypsy Queen, and there was so many different variations of that, photo variations and different colors, that sort of stuff. But people like list the regular cards as an SP or a photo variation when they're not. And I don't like, if you could, the industry could fix all of that if they just freaking put it on the back. You're
Yeah.
already changing that code. Why not also just instead of changing the code, just put the word
like you
SP
put
there.
refractor, like you put refractor on a refractor card.
Right.
Just
Mhm.
put that. Yeah.
Yeah, and with older cards, things can be SPs or short printed. That's
Mhm.
what stands for, short printed.
Right.
Mhm.
And they don't have to have it because they were printed 30 years ago. So yeah, duh. But like you literally have pack odds for SP or SSP on your pack. Then just designate it. So simple.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. The next one's from John, Tigers fan since 1967. People throwing base cards out in the trash. He doesn't understand that. Joe, you do it all the time, don't you?
Oh yeah, all the time. I don't think I open up enough stuff to have base cards.
Star Trek
I,
cards.
yeah, those. I don't throw them away though. I treasure each and every one of them.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. I sold all of those.
There you go.
Yeah, like that's kind of our hobby though now, right? Like people don't respect base cards because they don't set build. I mean, people don't, but by and large, people don't set build anymore. It's all about chasing that lottery ticket, all about chasing that big hit. So you shouldn't throw them away in the trash. Someone will take them, say, hey, I have all these base cards from Top Series 1, pay for the shipping. Why wouldn't you just do that? Like, why? And people literally do. I there are some channels that I like, and I've seen they rip a lot, and I see them throw away base cards, and it just like pains me almost. That's like there's a way to give those base cards a second life without throwing them in the trash.
I have a few other notes from what you said, Joe. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I guess me. Like, I love those the set building products. They are, for me, that's the hobby. Like having sets and that sort of stuff. So to when I found out about breakers throwing cards away, especially like there was people doing breaks of like Bowman base and Bowman draft where they were throwing away the paper cards instead of selling them. So some of them they'll just do all the paper into one group or whatever, like make that one big group. But that's insane to me. Like, well, I don't understand why you would do that. You're like Joe said, there you can find an audience or a customer for everything.
Yeah, and there's a lot you could do. Like I would happen to think that if you're a breaker, yeah, you have a lot of cards, you have a lot of base cards. If you're not sending them out, there's somebody that would pay you a certain dollar amount per box for those.
Right.
If you're a collector, take them to your card shop to ask them, would you want these? I take what I want. But as a person,
to a school. I mean,
yeah, or something even. But if you don't even want to be bothered with having to do that, like take them to somebody who could do that. But I had a ton of leftover stuff from my shop. And I had Tom Brady rookie cards that I picked out of boxes that were in with my commons 20 years later after I closed my shop. So some of the stuff you think is worthless now, there could be a player in there, a simple rookie card. Yeah, they're not going to be worth what they were back in the day, but there could be a guy in there that the card has value, and then you threw away 30 copies of the card because it was a base card at the time. Just don't.
One last point about this, that they always used to make the joke. I forget what show it was, but there was a mailman complaining about catalog season and having to carry all these catalogs. Imagine the trash man when Topps flagship comes out for some of these breakers. Like, oh my God, it's flagship season again. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself lifting these bags.
They probably circle it on their calendar. They know it's coming.
Right.
Yeah. I'm off that week.
Yep.
All right. Well, Rhino's cards said he's confused by how breakers that do repacks can still be popular, even though we all know that they just hype up crap cards.
Gambling mentality. That's all it is. That's all it is. Because you think this box could have a boat in it, right? Like you never know. You never know until you open it. And that's where we're at. I mean, I'm confused by it too, but I know why it's done. I know why that gambler mentality that a lot of folks have and a lot of people in the hobby are kind of preying on. And it works for a reason, Oh, that one guy hit one of those massive cards one time a bunch of years ago. Maybe I'll do it this time. And since then, they probably aren't putting anything near that in some of these products. So yeah, I'm with you. I don't get it, but I get it.
I really have to believe, and I really, really hope that there's an Allen & Ginter product that has a boat subset card, so I can get Joe a pack or a box of that, just for that reference to the boat in a box. But I agree 100% that with this, I think there are a lot of people out there who would like repacks, and that is kind of like, again, I don't want to get people's yums. If that's what you like to do, then that's people are just giving people their way of buying and selling cards, even though a lot of people think repacks are scams, repacks are worthless or whatever. There are people out there that probably, that is for them, that is how they hobby. Like, they like to get the repacks and see what's in it. And I guess that's my take.
They do, but it is kind of funny when you see the clips of them taking a card out of a repack that's really like a $5 card, and they're like, boom! Right. Like, no, but that card's not really worth anything. But yeah, but they're selling the sizzle, not the steak.
They are selling the sizzle. Good point.
All right, Chris. Let's see if I can read here. This is a good one. He doesn't understand how companies allow people to scam on their selling platforms. That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Well, I get it, because the scam gets money. That money then gets a fee, and the circle of life, baby. I mean, as long as the company's making money, they don't care. Honestly, like that's like an overarching theme that we have to really just accept in this hobby. There's not this like Lord Almighty above us in the hobby saying, "Oh, I'll make sure everything's fair and on the up and up." No, it's a bunch of sleazeballs who are just all about making money. And as long as they're making money, they let stuff like that slip through all the time, and it will be till the end of time. Like, that's never going to change.
Oh, as somebody who loves the hobby, I just realized, and this is an epiphany. I hate this comment only because, like, it points out that these companies are complicit in the scheme and the scamming, right? Like, they understand this game is going on and they're okay with it, and they just let it happen, right? I mean, that's gross to me, but that's where we are. Like,
and you're giving people who want to scam an avenue to be able to do so. Like, think about Whatnot. We hear about it all the time. That's a Wild West there almost, with all the people pulling the shady stuff. So many people, but like, that platform allows it. And there are people that wouldn't otherwise maybe not even think about doing it, definitely not have the means to do it. But because they have a platform where it's easy to do. Like, I've seen people that take breaks, they pull a good card, they cancel all the sales, and then they delete their account. So they keep the big card that should have gone to somebody because they sold all the spots, but they have the ability to just cancel it all and just pull it. And that's because Whatnot.
And then probably just start another channel. Under another name. I mean, yeah.
It's just crazy. Okay, Z Cards 55 says he doesn't understand how people actually make money at this, because honestly, for me, it's just a hobby, and I personally lose money whenever I sell anything. So, full disclosure, I've sold cards to Z Cards 55 before.
Oh, wow.
Some of my sales on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll give my opinion on this, because you're not in it to sell it, you're in it as a collector. So, like, the people, you either want to be somebody who's selling stuff and trying to make money selling stuff, or you're a collector. Either way is fine. You collect, you probably are going to lose money on stuff because you decide to sell something you don't want anymore. You wanted it, and you're probably willing to overpay for it, which there's nothing wrong with that. We all do it. I want a card, I'll pay more than what the last one went for if I wanted it. So yeah, it's going to be hard to make money that way. But like, people really only make money if they're trying to make money. And a lot of people lose money even when they're trying to make money. So.
I can't add much to that, because that's the whole thing we talk about is, if you're going to be a collector, you have to be okay with spending the money. Like, something I say on this channel all the time, shit costs money, so you obviously are going to have to put the money out for it. And if you're not in it to flip it, then you're just in it to have it. So of course you're not going to, win money. You're not going to gain money on it. You hope, though, even if you're a collector, if something happens, someone wins a Super Bowl. Oh, I have this Mahomes auto or whatever. He wins another Super Bowl and the card doubles value, sell it. that's how you make the money then, right? You hold it because they let you buy them back, right? So eventually, unless it's a 101 or something short print, depending if we know what that is or not, like they'll let you buy them back later. So sell it. That's where you make your money, and then you can collect it for down the road.
I was talking to one of the dealers at the card show last weekend about this and about how much I enjoy that the hobby has this built-in market that allows you to make some of your money. If you're a collector, you can make some of your money back depending on what you're buying and how you're buying. And that dealer said that he shifted from being a Griffey collector and the big guns from Griffey, Frank Thomas, all these players from back in the 90s. He shifted from that to now he's doing the full rookie run for Hall of Fame baseball players. You're talking massive amounts of money, but he's got a case with like massive amounts of like really high end vintage cards in it. And if you're dealing in that, you're going to be able to buy some extra here and there. You're going to be able to buy a whole set or something like that, or a partial set, and sell some of those cards to be able to continue that run. I think that's in my opinion, that is one of the great things about our hobby, and that's how if you're one of those collectors, that's how you should look at it, as opposed to becoming rich doing it. Like you're going to be able to make some of your money back. I think that's how you should look at it.
Definitely. Okay, next one comes from the dad of 3 cards fans. Our show?
All right.
I think that's what he means.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the dad of fans of our show.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch it on Friday.
Yeah.
We have a great episode coming out.
Yeah.
2 days away.
Yeah.
But the thing he doesn't understand is, this is a good one too, the hate that people have toward other people who don't collect the same way that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, go ahead, Joe.
I mean, people yucking other people's yums left and right. Yeah, what's the matter to you? Like, not to get philosophical here. I'm going to roll up the sleeves. Not to get philosophical, but it's kind of how our country has become, regardless of what side you're on politically or whatever. It's kind of how our country is right now, and social media really, really likes to stoke those flames. So if you're going to hobby on social media, you're going to see a lot of people who see something that you just bought, or see something that you want to go after, or see something that you buy, and they're going to yuck your yums, because that's just how we are as a nation now. And it sucks. And people are just willing to speak their mind more than they probably should. You don't like something, scroll on past. How does this affect you in the least? So yeah, I hate to be the downer, but it's just kind of where we're at as a people right now.
Yeah, I have very few notes, but the one thing I will say is like this country's been polarized by largely by social media, and I think one of the worst things about it is that the people saying stuff that they hate X, Y, or Z are just trying to get a response, or trying to get likes, or trying to get reposts. They might not even believe that 100%. They don't believe that. They probably believe like 10% of what they're saying, but they're exaggerating it because they know if they do this, they're going to get replies, they're going to get likes, they're going to potentially become X famous or Instagram famous or whatever. And that's the real problem, is that like we see this vitriol, and it's probably not nearly as bad as it is, but they're doing this because they want to get likes and reposts.
Okay, I got a pen.
Oh, no.
I'm going to make a point here to people on social media. Let me just say to you, you have the right to say whatever you want to, but nobody cares. Literally nobody cares what you think about it. They don't care. So guess what? Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. It's that simple, because nobody cares.
That's advice for life.
Nobody cares what you think. So don't say it. Nobody cares. They just don't care. That's a life lesson.
It just doesn't matter.
Trust me, I'm old. Just doesn't matter. But people don't care. So just don't be a dick. Like, I don't care. You like that? Cool. I don't like that. I like this. That's fine.
Right.
You liking that doesn't change my life whatsoever. You go do you. You live your life the way you need to be happy. Just don't be 100%. Don't be. Okay, this next one is a really good one. All Aces Cards said the one thing in the hobby he doesn't understand: Pokemon and trading card games. I love it. He's honest. He doesn't understand it. So.
I'm wondering if he doesn't understand the game itself, or he doesn't understand why people like
I think it means the appeal of it. Yeah.
Right. The appeal. I mean, but again,
Go back to the
see previous.
Yeah.
You know, rewind 5 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago or whatever. I don't get it, but again, I'm not here to yuck on other people's yums. If you love them, do it. Whatever. The only thing I've always wondered about those cards is you're taking the playability out when you grade them, but I don't get that part of it. But same thing with comic books, though. Grading comic books, you kind of take away the whole point of the comic book. But yeah, just move on, sir. Swipe. Keep swiping if you see TCG content.
Yeah, I think it's like just people don't understand it. That's the general like they don't understand it and they don't want to try to understand it. And I think that's the issue. And I'm not saying that they have to, but the people who enjoy it, like I was set up at a card show last weekend, and the people that came up and they went right to the Pokemon 50-cent box and the $1 box, or right to the Marvel stuff. Like there are a lot of avenues out there to collect stuff. And the one guy even said, "Man, you can there's something to collect for everybody out there. It doesn't need to be sports cards anymore." And that's very, very true. And for a lot of people, that Pokemon hits that nostalgia for them. Like we're talking, I mean, not just kids, we're talking about adults who were collecting it when it first started back in 1999, and that there's just that nostalgia hits for everybody on a little bit different level on a lot of things.
There are all different kinds of music, and people like them all different types, all different kinds of movies, all different kinds of books, whatever type of entertainment you like. You don't have to understand the other. I mean, it's just a thing that's out there that certain people like, and they're into it. You don't have to be. Again, just don't be a dick about it. And I'm sure that All Aces Cards is not a dick. He's just, I'm saying, being honest, just saying I don't understand it. Not saying that you can't like it. He just doesn't understand it. So give him a lot of credit there. Social media. Okay, the next one is from Josh Carvey Jr. And I made a little reference toward this on the podcast this week. You guys don't know anything about this. I didn't know anything about this until I read this, but he wants to know, what he doesn't understand is why someone destroyed the 2024 Select Shotzi Blackheart Black 1/1 card. And I was like, what?
I think I heard.
And some person, the Great Brown Hope, actually, great guy. He has a podcast. I wish I knew what it was called and I would plug it for him here. It's a wrestling podcast. But he had asked about it, and Josh shared a link to the card. Somebody got the Shotzi. She's a female wrestler in WWE. Her 1/1, and just crumpled the card up completely. Like, why? That's a great question. Why in the hell would somebody do that? Like, again, don't be a dick. I think because a running theme of a lot of this stuff. I don't know.
It reminds me, and this is not the reason why, but it reminded me of the one breaker who pulled a Michael Sam rookie card. Do you remember this? And they took a box cutter to it. Like, this was an old video that people have shown throughout the time. And it's gross. It's disgusting. That for a whole other reason. I don't know anything about this wrestler. Did this wrestler lose them money?
No, they just, I'm guessing maybe the person was disappointed by what it was. I'm just totally speculating here. Because
it sucks to pull a 1/1 out of Select.
Yeah. I mean, that card had decent value to it. And there are absolutely collectors that would want that card. Right. And let's just crumble it all up.
And the biggest kick in the old tea bags for that one is, I'm sure there is a super collector of this wrestler who now does not have the opportunity to get this card. They probably saw it get pulled and were like, "Oh, this is awesome. I can, they're not interested in it. I can make an offer." And then they do that. It's just like, again, don't be a dick. What are you doing?
You almost hope they didn't see it, so they don't know what's out there that was ever pulled. You know what I mean? Like that's frustrating. It's like people throwing away base cards. It's the same deal where you're like disrespecting the hobby when you do something like that. Like, just because, I mean, they probably pulled it. They were disappointed that it wasn't a bigger one, and they were trying to get likes, trying to get, trying to be have shock value in their stream instead of being a dum-dum. Instead of just saying, "Hey, you know what? I can actually probably sell this for some money," or somebody who can get this can sell this for some money, or maybe that person who won, like, was it a break? Well,
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I just assume it was a rip.
Yeah,
just a personal rip, but still. And one last point on this, it's like, you're not going to get anything for it anyway, so just find the super. Why is it so hard to be nice in the hobby? Is my thing. I don't understand.
You have two roads you could go on.
Right.
One's crumpling it up, or one is I don't really want it or want money for it. So here, somebody who might enjoy it, take it. You chose the crumple.
You chose the path of being a dick.
Hopefully you have followers on YouTube that you can just say, hey, does anybody want this? And you can make a fan for life if you do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
You know it's bad when EP is calling you dumb.
Yep.
Those are strong words. Okay, the final one, and this one's a good one too, comes from J Play. Breakers not shipping all cards and breaks. He doesn't understand that.
You know, I kind of get it because it goes to the base card thing. Like, I bet you there are people who we've had this actually happen. We talked about something like this before. Someone complaining that someone had sent extra cards with someone's purchase, and they complained about it. And I'm like, you just got like something for free, something that this person thought was a nice thing to do, and you're kind of crapping on it. Like, what is wrong with your life, my man? Like, it's just so stupid. So, you know, but there are people out there who don't, you know, we talked about this. They don't want the base, you know, sometimes they just throw it away. I think it should be an optional thing. I don't get it either. I can understand though, like you open up like a case break of Score. Could you imagine separating that out for, I mean, but you're getting paid to do it. So
it's part of your job, man. That's part of
your
deal.
Job. Yep.
I mean, I was just gonna say that, like you are getting into, if you're getting into breaking, you have to kind of expect this. Like Joe said, we have a good idea. If you want to, you know, kind of like pursue this avenue, make sure it's okay with your customers. Say, hey, look, this is an option, and that I can do whatever I want with the base cards if you only want the hits or whatever. But the like people who don't even make it an option, that's where the issue is, and I think that's probably what the person who asked this question was probably saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll get pushback in the comments from somebody about it, but like, I agree. Make it optional if you don't really want to do it. But I do understand there's work involved. But again, you chose to be a breaker. Maybe, you know, sometimes when you want to make money in this hobby, you have to work at it and put a lot of time and effort into doing that. That's usually how it works. So
you can just buy blasters and sell them for 100%. Wait.
That was 2020 2021. Yeah, you could just sell anything and make money.
There's one I don't understand that. I don't understand that when people were doing that. So, you know, rewind.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments what you don't understand about the hobby. I think these was a pretty good slice of the hobby and some of the different things there. But let us know if
maybe we get enough. We'll do a viewer version of this video. That would be fun. So yeah, definitely put them down below what you don't get about the hobby.
That'll be good. All right, guys. I have pizza waiting for me, so I am out of here. Take care, guys.
I'll be over shortly, Mike. See you.
8 a.m. pizza. 8 a.m. pizza, baby.
You got it. See you guys.
See you, boys.
See you.